Welcome back. Crank Revolution here. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Merk.
And we have opinions today.
Lots of opinions. I always have opinions, though.
But here's the thing. We have two reasons we're bringing this up. If you try to go out in the Midwest or Chicagoland right now, it's not a lot of fun to ride your bike outside.
Nope. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's wet. It's gross.
And it's also a time that we start looking for holiday gifts for people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's that time of year again,
Yeah.
isn't it? Ooh.
Well, the thing is, it used to be that you trained indoors during the winter to keep your fitness, and it was kind of a more serious cyclist thing. Now I would say even my mom uses Zwift.
Oh, really?
She likes the video game aspect, and it keeps stuff, and she's like, oh, it's social, I'm riding with people. I actually love that, but here's the thing. There are many platforms you can do it. I'd say that indoor training now is for kind of everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how do you get started? Well, first thing, you need a bike.
It's always a start, yes. Unless, of course, you get, an exercise bike.
In your shed, your garage, the
Basement.
places where you have your bike. Bring it inside and we can pop it in a Smart Trainer. Now, two flavors in this aspect. Today we're looking at Wahoo products. These are some of my favorites. I own them.
I own them.
They're good. They're awesome. But you can get started in that $500 to $600 Smart Trainer range generally for a wheel-on trainer. What that means is you have your wheel, your tire, and it goes on the trainer, and your rubber tire is spinning the actual thing.
I'm gonna stop you there.
Huh.
Yes, it's your tire, but replace your tire with a trainer tire.
That's important.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll have little black flecks of rubber all over your carpet.
Yeah. So the Wahoo Kicker Snap is a great way to get started. Again, like you said, $500, $600 price range.
Yeah.
Get you started, get you set up, out the box, riding.
And the thing is, too, is if you have a quick release, make sure you replace it with the steel skewer.
That's a very
Don't
good
go
point.
clamping the regular one in.
Which does come with the Wahoo Kicker Snap. So
Yeah, and we mentioned Zwift. I like Zwift, but there's also Ruvi. There's 100 other different types of training programs. I think the reason Zwift is caught on, it kind of plays into that video game aspect. It has virtual worlds. It's not boring, but you can also just use your Smart Trainer with your phone app and watch Game of Thrones or whatever TV show you're watching these days.
Which is just boring because that's the way I used to train.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, how do you spice it up, though? Well, the Kicker Snap's a great place to start. There's some accoutrements, as TC would say. One thing I'd say, before we get into the really nitty-gritty, crazy setups that he and I might have, there's a lot of heat. A lot of heat.
A lot of
for
heat.
The fan?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a lot of heat.
There's a lot of heat, though, on whether or not the Kicker Headwind Smart Fan makes any sense at the $240, $250.
All right. You know what? You explained it very well, and I'm going to explain it the way you explained it. So as your heart rate goes up, the fan increases to cool you down.
Yeah.
Now, for me, my opinion is that it has to be included with Zwift. If you're facing a 20-mile-per-hour headwind, like we always do out in the Midwest, it has to increase that resistance on the Smart Trainer.
Well, here's what I would say. If you're in Alp to Zwift, though, and you set it to like reality mode and you're going up at 3 miles an hour, that's not a lot of fan and you're going to cook. So me, I'm going heart rate any day because it means if I'm dying, it's blowing more air. What? So here's my point. Nice things are nice. Whatever works for you, it's a fan, but having one that actually reacts with you and goes up, and then as your heart rate comes down, doesn't freeze you to death as it slows down too, is really nice.
That's a very cool feature. But my favorite accoutrement would be the climb.
The climb.
The climb.
Right. Here's what I think about the climb. That's funny. Remember those little 5-cent machines? You'd go outside the Walmart, you pop it in, and you'd be bucking around. That's essentially what we're talking about for $600.
Yeah, but you know what? Being on a mag trainer, watching movie after movie, trying to get your training in, a mag trainer meaning it's a magnet that's making the resistance, having that connect to Zwift, so as you're climbing Alp to Zwift, the climb increases to make it simulate that you're climbing up.
And that's the thing is, no one likes to be strapped to a non-moving trainer for a long time. And even though when you see a hill, you feel a hill through a Smart Trainer, it is kind of fun to be like, oh, I'm going uphill, or I'm going down.
Yeah.
And it's just to break the doldrum and the boredom.
Exactly.
One cool little thing I learned about this when I set it up last year, if your difficulty on Zwift is not set to maximum, if you're at 50%, the climb only does 50% of the work. They should work that out, but there is a trick. You just double your wheelbase.
Yeah, something like that.
It works, but either way, yes, going up and down, it makes it much more interactive, and I do like that.
I do too.
But that's a $600 upgrade right there.
Yeah.
So you can see this can get expensive quick.
Absolutely. But we're missing the complete fact
Because
of...
we both have a certain product here, don't we?
Yes.
Which one is it?
That would be the kicker itself. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's great trainers out there, the Garmin Tactunio and all those. I mean, there's really great trainers out there. I like the kicker. I like that it integrates so well with the peripherals, and it just works. Works great.
Yeah. And what's really nice, and this goes with any wheel-off trainer, is that it's quiet. Mm-hmm. Less vibration.
Yeah.
For being in a household with a wife and a child, them not knowing that I'm training is actually really nice because
Dad's making noise again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing too. I'll say is it's a game of flywheel, and I know that's not a phrase you normally would hear. When you have a kicker snap and you're looking at a lighter flywheel, as you pedal, it spools up, right? But then as you back off, outside you have this inertia. There's this maintaining of your energy that you don't feel on a small flywheel trainer. That's the difference between buying a $100, $200, $500 trainer. When you get up to that 20+ pound flywheel, I just turned Irish there. But when you have a massive flywheel and you start pedaling faster and faster, it gives you that illusion, just like being outside, that you still have momentum.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then if you don't know what we mean by wheel-off trainer, here's one right here, probably covering Mark's head somewhere.
Well, it's actually right behind you.
Oh, yes, but I was going to actually PIP superimpose.
Oh, you're going to...
So we'll
okay.
see how that goes. But that's what it looks like. So it is a much more natural feel. But now you can see you could be dropping 1,200 on your trainer, 600 on your climb, 250 on your fan, and it sounds absurd.
And not that much.
It's really not.
It's not, especially.
How much is a Peloton or a dedicated fitness bike? $2,000 to $4,000.
Exactly. And then on top of it, you have to pay for their subscription.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So indoor training is awesome. This is a great holiday thing that most cyclists would love because I always hated starting every season fresh with no legs.
I don't know. It was always nice to take the winter off, but once I got older, the more I had to go and train in the basement.
But if you want to know more about indoor trainers, send us some comments, send us some texts, come visit the shop, we'll talk to you about it. Get training.
Absolutely. Peace out.
Get training.
I know, that was, I did like that. That's why I'm like, yeah, I just got